Hello, tubers. Welcome to another video on Fallout Tactics, Brotherhood of Steel or FT Boss. Here are another 12 tips for the game. Epic Games made this game available for free, along with Fallout and Fallout 2 some weeks ago, so I took advantage of the opportunity. I had played this game many years ago and I tried it again, this time playing it in a way that fits my playstyle more. This is my third video on this game. I'm sharing some tips and what I've learned about the game. Just to establish the right context, I'm a casual gamer. I have an hour or two to play the game almost daily, so I don't have the whole afternoon or longer to play the game, and because of that, I want things to get moving fast. Second, fun is my priority, and while I do like a little challenge, there are only so many times I'd like to try something before giving up. I just feel that saving and loading too often isn't playing a game anymore. I like to play the game the way the devs intended us to play, so I'm not too fond of mods and glitches. I also like to play the game in a simple way. The less key presses and button mashing, the better for me. It may not be exactly the best way, but that's my kind of fun. In games, I usually don't use any buffs or drugs, just because of the consequences afterwards. My idea of a good game is the minimum of button mashing for the maximum fun. Life is complicated, so I want my game simple. With that out of the way, we can continue on tips for FT Boss. Tip number 1. Again, there is no penalty in recruiting the full team of 6 from the very beginning, and there is no penalty for replacing our team as soon as somebody better is available. The rank of our character, which is named the Warrior, determines how good the recruits can be, and the new recruit will inherit the XPs of the squad member he or she replaced. Tip number 2. Still with recruits, the humans are the jacks of all trades, good with all skills but not excellent. Many ghouls are very good marksmen, but they tend to be a bit fragile, and some of them, called glowing ones, cause the rest of the team to be radiated. The Deathclaws are good in unarmed combat and throwing and have a lot of endurance, but they cannot handle any firearms. The Super Mutants are tough and usually good with heavy weapons, melee and unarmed combat, but can't use any firearms smaller than heavy machine guns. They're also not good with fine motor skills like lockpicking, repair, and first aid. Some Super Mutants also cause their squad mates to have penalties in perception when they're near their mates, due to lack of deodorants. That's the short lowdown on recruits. Tip number 3. Rob the other guy's armor. Some of the recruits don't come with armor. Solution? Recruit another guy of the same race with armor. Grab the armor and place it in our inventory, then replace him with a desired recruit. Tip number 4. The Hummer or APC, when visible in the mission map, can be used to store additional loot. Ride the vehicle, transfer the loot to the vehicle, then exit the ride. Tip number 5. Some weapons are what I call problem solvers because they resolve combat very quickly. With my playstyle, these are the M2 Browning, the automatic shotguns, and the grenades, although I don't know what I will do with 126 grenades. These weapons and their ammo are fairly common in the game. We don't have to go out of our way to maintain a stock of these. Some automatic weapons and light-heavy machine guns will also do the trick, but the first 3 I mentioned are the most effective, the king of which is the Browning 50 cal, provided we can find someone strong enough to carry it. That said, all of these weapons deal splash damage, so we need to make sure that none of our buddies are out in front, because these are quite lethal. They will take down friend and foe alike when they are in the way. Tip number 6. Since I am lazy, I just fixed the sentry mode to aggressive at 33% accuracy, which, on paper, says that 1 out of 3 shots will connect. However, with this setting, the sharpshooters will start firing once they reach this spec, no matter how far they are. This situation has its ups and downs. This can be annoying because the enemy could be a long way off or is visible only to the marksman, and we aren't ready to face the enemy. However, this also sets the maximum engagement distance, So if we have 3 snipers with this ability, we'll be picking off the enemy from afar, while the rest of our team closes in or stays away depending on the situation. And hopefully, the enemy is still too far to deal any serious damage. Tip number 7. Find your own play style. The game is flexible enough for any gamer to get the job done with their own style. I don't use stealing, and I only use traps to defuse traps, but I'm too lazy to set traps for the enemy. I don't use melee, and I depend heavily on guns and bullets. However, that may not be your own play style, and there are many ways to get the job done. My lazy playstyle saves me the bother of doing things I don't like doing, like too much saving and loading, and micromanaging the team. I guess that's a hallmark of a good game. It doesn't force us on rails and allows us some freedom to play the game the way we want to play them. Tip number 8. While it is highly unlikely that we will run out of 7.62mm bullets, I balance my guns and bullets. Meaning, while one gun and bullet type might not be the most powerful, one of the teams still uses this so that different calibers are spread out in the squad. If we favor one caliber and gun type, there may be situations where we will run out of ammo for that type, so it's also wise to have a backup firearm with a more common caliber. While this may not be as powerful as our preferred caliber, at least we still have something to shoot with. Combat is not the time to be swapping guns and ammo between teammates because one of our guys ran out of ammo. Tip number 9. Related to tip number 8, it is wise for each team member to have some stim packs in his inventory all of the time. While our medic might be good, we may not have enough time to heal all of our mates while combat is happening, and the stim packs, healing powders and food can keep our guys alive while the medic is busy with someone else. Tip number 10. In the most difficult situations in combat, our team should be hiding behind cover, popping up, then shooting, then hiding again. This takes longer because we need to fill up our guys' action points to do this, but this will keep our guys alive when faced with super mutants with a couple of Browning 50 cals. In hard mode, a single spray of these weapons is likely to down our guys, so this is the only way to chip at our enemies and stay alive. Tip number 11. Use the lockers. Money is important in this game, but it's not everything. Without stealing anything, there will be times when the ammo we need will come in short supply. Meaning, even if we have the money to buy ammo, once we have used up the supply from the quartermaster and can't loot them off enemies, they are no longer available until we transfer to the next base camp. Since selling off stuff and buying them back is always a net loss, we can store our second-class weapons and ammo in lockers near where the mechanic is. If we have filled all those lockers, we can find some more lockers in the barracks in one of the rooms in the bases. So if our favorite ammo is used up, we can dig up one of the lesser weapons and ammo from the lockers until we transfer to another base camp to buy some more ammo. Also, the lockers will be useful to store extra weapons and ammo because we incur a penalty on the loot we can carry if we bring all our extra weapons and ammo during a mission. A mission is not likely to use up 1,000 rounds of ammo, so we just bring the right amount for every mission. That way, we can collect more loot without penalties. Tip number 12. The game follows the cycles of night and day. That means if we intend to do some long-range sniping, nighttime is not a good time. Our snipers suffer aiming penalties at night, and darker areas have more penalties than well-lit areas. This is actually cool for such an old game, but we shouldn't be surprised if our snipers suddenly have trouble aiming. If we want the encounter during the day, I guess we should drive around near the mission site until we hit daylight. After doing a couple of videos of games I like, I've discovered that I am, at best, a casual gamer. That said, other people may have the time and patience for bigger challenges, so to each his own. However, the tips that I've offered will be helpful for any level of gamer. It was nice to revisit this old game, but I'll soon be moving on to other games. This game has many mods available, so you may want to try some of them before leaving this game. Some are total rewrites to the story and mechanics of the game, while some are just minor mods dealing with weapons, new maps, new sprites, and so on. However, since this is an old game, the mods are not as numerous as many years ago. Be forewarned though, mod the game at your own risk, and take the necessary precautions like backing up before installing the mods. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful, and see you on my next video.